All right, good morning, mathematicians. I know it has been a while since my last video, and what can I say? It's summer vacation, Comic-Con came around, and yeah, I mean it's been a wonderful summer so far. But uh, our days are numbered, so I figured we would get back into our mathematical mindsets here. Okay. So my goal is for the upcoming week, every day I will release a video that walks through a topic in our integrated math prep book. So remember, it looks like this. Yeah, it has a white cover. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive right into our review for today. And this is it's gonna be pretty straightforward. It's gonna be a review of graphing. And I know some of you are saying, oh, I already know how to do this. But guys, again, it doesn't hurt to review these basic concepts because sometimes we make mistakes and, I mean, I've seen it happen before. So it's just a good practice to get into reviewing the basic concepts that will help us solve more complex concepts down the road. Okay, so reviewing really quickly, remember that coordinate points are written like this. There are two numbers written in parentheses separated by a comma. Typically, when we're referring to them, we and we don't have a specific point, we usually call it x comma y. That's because we have an x coordinate and then we have a y coordinate that follows. Okay, and I like what it says here. Taken together, the two coordinates name exactly one point on the graph. So there's a very specific rule that we have to follow here. So I'm going to go straight to my examples, right? So let's see. I'm going to make a list over here on the side. So I have point S, point T, QRS, T. I have a point U, I have a point V, and then I have a point W and a point Z. Okay. So remember, our coordinates are written like this: x comma y. So in order to find these coordinates, we're going to travel along the x-axis first. That would be this guy right here with my little check mark. Travel along the x-axis first, and then once you do that, then you're going to switch over to the y-axis. So finding the coordinates for s, right? So I'm going to look at my x-axis. I'm always starting from, I'm going to make it a red dot here. I'm always starting from my origin, right? My origin is 0, going in all directions here. So starting from 0, I notice that point S is over here, so I'm going to go 2 this way. So it looks like my x coordinate is going to be 2, right? So I've moved horizontally, and now I'm going to move vertically. I'm going to go straight up to the point, and that's going to be another 2. So it looks like my coordinates for point S is going to be 2, 2. Alright, let's try another one. I'm going to switch colors here so we don't get confused. I'm looking for point T. Alright, so point T is down here. So again, starting with my x-axis, I'm going to start from my origin. Start from this red dot here. I'm going to go over until I get to that point T there, or the position of point T, which is right there. So I move to the left 1. Okay, so my first coordinate, or my x coordinate, is going to be -1, right? Because it's the first point to the left of 0. Okay, and then, so I already did my x-axis, and now I'm going to move to my y-axis. I'm going to move all the way down to what looks like, I see a 6 there, but be careful, right? We are below 0. We're below this red dot here, right? And when we go below 0, our numbers are negative. So our coordinates are going to be -1, -6. All right, let's keep going. Point U is up here, okay? So on my x-axis, if you notice, it's in line with my origin, right? So remember, the coordinate of my origin is always 0, 0, but the x-coordinate, right, along my x-axis, I'm not moving anywhere left or right, so I'm just going to leave that as a 0. Okay, and now I'm just going to go straight up, moving to my y-axis. I go straight up to positive 6. And there we go. That's a coordinate for point U. Point V is over here, so I'm going to go over, starting from my origin, I go 1 to the right, so that's my x-coordinate, and then I go down 4 to negative 4. Alright, hopefully you are seeing a pattern here. W. So starting from my origin, I go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because it's to the left of 0, just like on my number line, that's going to be a negative 6. And am I moving up or down any? No, I am not, so my y-coordinate is going to be 0. Alright, last one, and that's point Z. Point Z, let's see, we're going to go on my x-axis over to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like my x-coordinate's negative 5. I'm going to go up to 1, 2, 3. So my coordinate's negative 5, comma 3. Alright. So now that we've practiced naming coordinates, now we're going to practice graphing them. So reading the directions, it says, use the ordered pair to locate each point on a coordinate grid. Place a dot at each point and label it with its letter name. And this is a good habit to get into, labeling your coordinates, just so you don't get confused, and then your future teachers don't get confused, and everyone knows what's what, and you don't lose any points. So that's what we're going to do. So let's see. So point K is at 0, negative 4. So I'm going to find 0 on my coordinate plane. So there's 0 on my x-axis, right? And then I need to go to negative 4 on the y-axis, right? So this is x, comma, y for all of these. So my x is 0, and now my y is negative 4, so I'm going to go down here. I don't want you to get confused with this dot. I'll put a big red dot at the origin again. Okay. And so, oops. This coordinate that I just drew is, or this dot I just drew is point K at 0, negative 4. All right, let's try the next one. So point L is at negative 5, 0. So I need to find negative 5 on my x-axis first, and that just happens to be over here, right? And then I need to go to where my y coordinate is telling me to go. In this case, we got lucky because y is just 0, so that's just going to sit right here on the x-axis, and this is point L. All right, let's try another one. Point M is at negative 2, negative 3. So I'm going to find negative 2 on my x-axis, so that's right here, and then I need to follow my y-coordinate that's taking me all the way to negative 3, which is over, which I'm going to go down 3 from here, 1, 2, and 3. So my coordinate, or my point M is right here. Let me erase some of these. There we go. All right, let's do another one. Coordinate N, negative 2, comma 3. So again, I find negative 2 on my x-axis, and then I'm going to go up 3. It's a positive 3, so I need to go upwards, 1, 2, 3. So point N is right there. All right, hang in there, we're almost done. Okay, point O is at 2, comma negative 3. Find 2 on your x-axis. Boom, it's right there. And then we're going to go to negative 3 on my y-axis, and it is right there. So that is point O. All right. Point P is at negative 4, negative 6. So find negative 4 on your x-axis. There we go. And then all the way down to negative 6. So point P is right there. All right. Let's see, what color have I not used? Ooh, I'll use this palette here. Okay, point Q is at 4, -5, so find 4 on the x-axis right there. And then we're going to -5, so we're going below the origin here to -5. And that is my point Q. All right, 2 more. Let's see. Point R is at -5, -4. So find -5 on the x-axis. It's going to be right here underneath point L. I'm not going to draw on top of point L because I have to erase later. -5, and then I'm going to go down to -4, which is right there, and that is point R. And last but not least, we have point T. Point T is at -1, -6, so find -1 on the x-axis, and then go all the way down to -6. And we are finished. Alright guys, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next lesson. Alright.